In today's video, I'm going to be telling you how to fail-proof your business for 2025. Now, I have been a print-on-demand seller for going on 5 years, and there are a number of things that really set apart the businesses that are here for just today, that make a few sales and then kind of fizzle out or get completely banned, and the accounts that really build a long-term sustainable print-on-demand business that is going to grow exponentially over time. Now, while it's tempting to really have a quick start and get those sales really fast, a lot of times those businesses, they are not the ones that end up making real consistent income or becoming a true side hustle or full-time income. So we really want to be on this side where we're building a business that is doing the right things, going about this the right way, and using strategies to build slowly consistent income over time. So I'm going to be sharing with you a number of different tips that I really wish I had known way from the beginning, that have taken me years to kind of come up with and utilize. So I hope that this can help you if you're just getting started this year, or you've been at this thing for a while and you haven't really found what works. These strategies are really going to help you fail-proof your business and have a really good foundation to build on. So let's not waste any more time and just get started. Now, I think the most important thing you can do to actually fail-proof your business is dependent on what types of niches you are trying to sell in. So generally in print on demand, there are two different kinds of niches that you can go after. Now, there are millions of different niches out there, but what I mean is the two broad categories. So on one hand, you have things that are trends. So for example, like this could be tied to something that is really popular right now in pop culture. It's an event that's happening. It's something really big that's blowing up in the news cycle, say like an election, or if you have a big weather event like a solar eclipse. Those are all tied to a very specific time. They are trends that are kind of here now, and they might be gone tomorrow. Now, it's not completely wrong to sell trends in your print-on-demand business. I have my fair share of trends that I've uploaded over the years that have done really well and made sales, but this is not the way to build a consistent, sustainable business. So on the other hand, you have niches in print-on-demand that are called evergreen. So that means this is something that could sell today, it could sell next week, it could sell a few months from now, or it could sell several years down the road. So while a trend is tied to something very specific, here in the moment, popular now, an evergreen design might be for something that has really never gone out of style. So for example, if you think of something like a fishing shirt for a dad, now nothing about that is tied specifically to like the year 2025. It's not tied to a specific fishing event that's happening. It's just a standard fishing shirt that I could have made back in 2019 and could still be selling really well today. So as print-on-demand sellers, we want to be focusing the bulk of our effort on evergreen designs and products that are going to be able to make sales anytime in the future. Because if you think about it, if you're putting a ton of effort into designs that maybe could just sell for a handful of months, you're not really taking advantage of that compounding effect and really building a huge catalog over time. So if you can really concentrate on selling in evergreen niches, that is going to be the way to go. Now, this could be an entire video in itself, and I actually do have a free resource for you guys that's all about really finding good evergreen niches that are going to sell anytime, and it's my free cross-niching workshop. I'll link that down below. It's about an hour-long free video workshop that's going to take you through one of the processes I use to find great evergreen niches every single day. So if you sign up down below, I'll send all the information to your inbox. But one of the most important things you really can do is just focusing on those types of designs that are going to be able to sell years from now. This is going to help you build up a business that grows over time. Now, the next thing that is so important for new sellers to realize when it comes to building a business that is fail-proof, that is not going to get them in trouble, it's not going to be here today, gone tomorrow, and that is utilizing good business practices and paying attention to copyrights and trademarks. Now, I have found that this is probably the number one reason people get banned or lose their print-on-demand accounts, whether that's on Amazon or Etsy, is they are just trying to take shortcuts when it comes to doing their due diligence to see if their products can be sold. Now, trademark checking, it does take a little bit of time. You do have to put in the extra effort, but you don't need any fancy tools to make sure you're selling products that are safe. So you can just go to the free government website, uspto.gov, and use their free trademark electronic search system. There, you're just going to type in any phrase or keywords that you want to sell, like on a t-shirt or a mug, and make sure that no one owns the trademark for it. Now, why this trips up a lot of people is a lot of times we'll will think of something or we'll see something out in the wild and we're like, okay, I want to sell that, not thinking that anyone could own this. It's obscure enough that how could anyone have thought to actually file an official trademark for this? But there are so many trademarks out there of things you wouldn't even suspect. So for example, like if you wanted to sell in the bridal niche, which is a great one, you couldn't sell something that says like wifey on it because somebody owns the trademark for that. Or you can't sell items that say girl dad. So all of these like common phrases that you might think are really safe to sell, a lot of times someone does own the trademark for it. Now, don't worry, there is still so much real estate out there. There's so many phrases that nobody has trademarked before. So you don't have to worry that everything is taken up, but you always do want to do the double check to make sure what you are going to be selling is safe. Now, this is the same thing for copyrights or using other people's intellectual property. A lot of times I see new shops popping up on a place like Etsy, and they are selling stuff that is like Disney inspired items. Now, sometimes they make a shop and they immediately start getting so much sales because the brand of Disney or those characters already have so much name recognition. People are looking for those items. So they might make some sales really fast, but that's always going to come back and bite them, and their accounts are eventually going to get terminated, and they could even be responsible for paying back the money that they made through that. So you never want to take advantage of all of the money and time and advertising that big companies have spent getting their names out there and try to profit off that yourself. So you want to be selling original artwork with phrases that are not trademarked or copyright that don't allude to any characters that are out there. So instead of selling something that is like Bluey or Winnie the Pooh inspired for kids, go the more generic route like animals or trucks or mermaids. All those kind of things are totally safe to sell because they're not associated with actual specific characters. Now, if you just do the simple step of trademark checking every single time you make a new listing, you're going to be leaps above other people that aren't doing this step. And this is really going to help make sure that your account is not terminated way earlier than it should be. Because even if you built up a huge following, you're making tons of sales every single month. If you start getting lazy with things like trademark checks, Etsy or Amazon can ban your account like this, and all of that work is just down the drain. So you never want that to happen to you. So make sure you're always checking your trademarks first. Now, the next thing you can do to really fail-proof your print-on-demand business and make sure you are consistently making sales, and you're going to be making sales for a long time, is to pick a really good platform to sell on. Now, typically there are a couple big platforms that I recommend that I definitely feel are going to be here for a long time. They've already really proven themselves, and I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. And that is going to be either Amazon merch or Etsy integrated with a production partner. Now, both of those are huge money-making platforms for print on demand, and they have been proven to have the longevity behind them. Now, every once in a while, there are new print on demand platforms that pop up that you can make sales on, that you can register an account with. And some of them have been here for a long time and do pretty well. So things like Redbubble or TeePublic or Zazzle, those are great examples. But sometimes there are newer accounts or marketplaces that pop up that just aren't going to last. So you can waste a lot of time pouring tons of energy out there. Now, way back when I first got started in print on demand, I actually started on a print on demand platform that I no longer sell on, that's made so many changes over the years. And all of that effort that I first was doing just kind of got wasted when that platform made a bunch of changes to how the print on demand marketplace worked. So I definitely suggest going with a platform that's tried and true. So either Amazon merch or Etsy. Now, along with that, to make sure that you are creating a long-lasting business, something that is not going to get flagged, is you want to connect with a production partner that is really reputable, that is going to be able to fulfill your orders, not make a lot of mistakes, have really good customer service. And so if you are selling on a platform like Etsy, I really recommend selling with the production partner Printify. They are who I have used for a long time. They have tons of different products, and they just have really good quality, good turnaround time, and they've been here for a long time. They're tried and true. A lot of people trust them. So again, like with the platforms that you sell on, there are always new manufacturers popping up, some of them better than others. So it's really important to do your due diligence and pick one that has really good reviews. Tons of people also use it and trust them. Now, if you've never made an account before, you can get started with Printify down below using my link. It's totally free to get started unless you want to get a premium account, which just gets you a discount on all of the items there. But once again, I trust Printify, and I feel like they are going to be here for a long time. So I'm willing to kind of put my business stakes in their platform, where I wouldn't want to trust another place that could just disappear tomorrow. Now, another Another way you can kind of fail-proof your print-on-demand business is by diversifying the types of products that you are selling. So there are tons of print-on-demand sellers that really got their start years ago only selling t-shirts. That's pretty much all they did. And you could still be really successful selling t-shirts, but I think nowadays it's really important to have kind of a diverse group of product offerings. This doesn't mean that you have to start offering everything under the sun, but if you want to choose like 3 or so different types of products that you are selling in your store, that can a lot of times help you get seen more, and that can help you kind of build a big enough catalog that you're going to have a wide range of products for people to actually purchase and buy. So a lot of times the 3 products that I like to recommend, especially new sellers learn how to sell, going to be t-shirts, first of all, mugs, and then some kind of more expensive product like a sweatshirt or a blanket. Those are really, really good options to start with. You certainly don't want to get overwhelmed doing too many different products, but if you can have a few solid options in your shop, that's really going to help you grow this business long term. If you want just a lot of good ideas of what options are even out there, Printify does have about 800 different product types, so you can just browse through their best sellers, their different categories, and see if anything really sparks your interest. But if something more unique, you don't want to go that route, one of those tried or true 3 products that I mentioned, you can't really go wrong with. Now, the next way you really can fail-proof your print-on-demand business and continue to add the income you're making every single month and consistently get more sales is dedicating yourself every single month to learning a new type of design or design style. Now, many of us come to this business with maybe not a creative background or not experience in graphic design. We don't know how to make apparel items, and that is totally fine. You can be really successful doing really, really simple designs and selling them on Etsy or Amazon. But I think it's really important to kind of be a lifelong learner and every single month trying to learn one new design style type. Now, I have tons of videos on my channel about different designs you can make. You could just dedicate yourself to watching one of those a month and then trying to upload several different products with that new design style. But like I mentioned at the beginning, that consistent effort over a long period of time is what's going to really help this thing grow and become possibly a full-time business. So print on demand, it's always evolving and changing. There's new design styles that really take over all the time. So if you can kind of keep up with that and consistently be learning something new, how to make just one new design style every single month, that's going to be huge. It really doesn't seem like a ton, but at the end of the year, you've mastered 12 different design styles that you can kind of rotate through all of the niches that you are selling in. Now, along with that, another way you can make sure that your business is consistently growing and not becoming stagnant and risking not getting a lot of views and sales is you can commit to improving one print-on-demand skill every single month along with learning a new design. So I find that a lot of new sellers, they get so excited or they get really overwhelmed in the beginning and they're trying to do everything all at once. And there is just no way that you can master every single thing from the get-go. You have to think about titles, description, SEO, your mock-up photos, how to make good designs, how to really get seen on different platforms. There is just so much going on at once, and it can easily become overwhelming to the point that you might actually just give up on this, or you get really invigorated for a few weeks and you're spending hours and hours on your print-on-demand business every single day, but you quickly can get burned out from that. So what I suggest is you pick one print-on-demand skill that you're going to work on mastering for either a few weeks or about a month, and you're going to put all of your efforts into learning and implementing that. So for maybe the first month, you want to focus on making really good mockups. You could watch YouTube videos about making good print-on-demand mockups and then immediately start implementing those skills and do your best on all the other elements. Now, after that month of really concentrating your efforts on learning those skills and implementing them on every single new listing, you're going to be so much further ahead than you would have been at the beginning of the month, or if you try to spread yourself too thin, learning too many different skills all at once. Now, the next month after you do mockups, maybe you want to focus on your SEO. So you're really going to watch tutorials on SEO. You're going to read about good SEO. You're going to try different things in your listings and put extra effort and extra time in making your titles and descriptions even better. So at the end of that month, you've mastered another skill. So again, by the end of the year, you've really compounded your efforts and you've mastered 12 different areas of print on demand or cycled through and refreshed yourself on some of those skills that maybe you worked on earlier in the year. And your print on demand business is going to be in such a different place. You're going to have so many more skills if you just work on them slowly a little bit at a time. That's kind of the theme of this video, is if you work on stuff consistently, a little bit of effort every single day or every week, that is going to be huge in actually growing a business that is going to make make you a lot of money in the long run instead of just a ton at the beginning and then kind of fizzling out. Now, along with these tips, there are so many other mistakes that you could be making as a print-on-demand beginner that could be the difference between you making no sales or making tons of sales. So I highly recommend checking out this video next, and that's really going to give you some great motivation to get started. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.